So again, my name is Gabe Zollner. You know, I went to the gym this morning, and you need to try this. Not necessarily the gym, but you need to go up to perfect strangers and just ask them some real basic questions. Ask them what they think about the sequestration. You know what they'll do? They'll look at you like with this dumb glazed expression. And then they'll say, well, what's that? You know? And I've made a video somewhat similar to this before where, you know, then I'll ask, well, did you vote? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll say, who'd you vote for? And they'll tell me that they voted for Bozo. And then I'll say, well, you shouldn't vote because you don't know what you're voting for. But what's really scary is that I think Rush Limbaugh said it best. He calls them low information voters. And that's what they really are. But what I found frightening is the number of people that you can approach, and they are totally clueless. They truly are. And I don't know if it's because they're just so interested in trying to survive. I don't know if they're just interested and worried about day-to-day. I don't know what it is. You know, I started making these videos, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, because I really was frustrated with the number of people that I would approach and ask a simple question, and they had no clue. And, you know, I think I've had about, I don't know, 200 and almost 70,000 viewers. But that's nothing in comparison to how many people are still in the total dark. They don't know. Try it yourself. Approach people. Ask them simple questions. Questions that you would expect that they'd have an understanding, some level of understanding. And they don't. I don't know if they're stupid or, you know, I don't know what it is. I've actually asked a couple, and, you know, there's a couple of guys that I know, and they said they don't want to know. They really don't want to know. Now, to me, that's completely idiotic, especially if you have a family and young children. And their response when I mentioned that to them is, well, what can we do? We can't do anything. And I guess for the most part they're right. They themselves can't do anything. And the problem is we can't get enough people united to do anything. You know, if Lame Brain McCain received you know, a couple of 100,000 letters from constituents telling him how displeased they are with his lack of protecting the American people, maybe if other senators received that same level of attention, maybe something would happen. But that's not what happens. I can't tell you how many videos that I've made that I've asked people to contact their representative. And I'm sure that they don't. They don't. Well, if you don't want to help your country, why do you expect your neighbor to want to help your country? And until the American people wake up and realize that time's running out. I mean, it truly is. I truly believe time's running out. You know, I think Syria is going to fall soon. I think Obama is going to come up with another story. He tried to come up with the chlorine gas, and that didn't work. But he'll come up with something else. He'll blame it on Assad, and he'll do a surgical airstrike, and it'll all be over, just the same as he did to Gaddafi. And then he'll do Jordan. And then I think he'll do us right here in the United States. What do you think Big Sis needs all that heavy equipment for? What do you think she needs close to 2 billion rounds of ammunition? She could wage a war for 37, 38 years at expelling 5 million a month, which was the most that the American military used at the height of the war in Iraq. 5 million a month. She has enough for 37 years at 5 million a month. What does Homeland Security need anything like that for? What do they need tanks for? What do they need those half-tracks for? They're Homeland Security. They're not the Gestapo. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think that's what they're going to become, similar to Gestapo. Obama's got his blue shirts. Hitler had his brown shirts. Not much different. No. I did a video on it this morning on the Hitler Youth and Department of Homeland Security's blue shirts. Try to take a look at it. Anyway, you know my problem is I can't get the message out fast enough. I truly can't. Western Center Journalism has posted about 110 of my videos. I've done over 1,000. Over 1,000. Anyway, it is what it is. And if some of you folks that are watching this really cared, you'd do something about it. You'd contact your lame-brain McCain senator if he's yours. You'd contact whichever ones you have in whatever state you're in. They're all the same. None of them are doing anything. There's not one. There's not one that's going to question Obama's eligibility. That's all it'll take. All it'll take is one senator to stand up and say, we demand that you release those documents. Period. All it'll take is one senator that demands that there's a thorough investigation on Benghazi. I know what he did. You know what he did. If you watch my videos, that's what he did. What do? You'll watch this video and then you'll forget about it. And you'll go back to whatever you're doing before. Well, guess what, fellas, ladies? It's going to end. The axe is going to drop. The hammer is going to hit the anvil. Those half-tracks are going to be rolling in the streets. You think not? Then ask yourself a question. Why do they have them? Why does the Department of Homeland Security need to have that kind of weaponry? It makes no sense. But it makes a lot of sense if you realize why they have them. God help America. You know what, though? I think it's too late. Congress let it go too long without doing anything. And now, I think it's too late. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's too late.